If you crave a small SUV with super sports car style performance, then Audi thinks you'll like this RSQ3, offered in both standard and stylish sportback forms. This is the quickest you'll probably ever want to go in any kind of SUV, and there's an emotive soundtrack too. If you've outgrown hot hatches, don't need a huge amount of interior space, and want something very rapid that's a fashionable yet practical choice, then this RSUV might be just what you're looking for. There's no doubt about it, this RSQ3 feels ballistically quick. And is on paper too. A rest to 62 mile an hour sprint time of just 4.5 seconds, en route to as much as 174 miles an hour. That puts this car on a par with the far pricier Porsche Macan Turbo. And you can access quite a lot of this performance in all kinds of conditions thanks to this RS model's use of the latest version of Audi's Quattro four-wheel drive system, which is mated to a 7-speed dual-clutch S-tronic paddle-shift auto transmission. This car's 2.5-litre 400 PS 5-cylinder turbo power plant has always been one of Audi's more charismatic units and has a wonderfully emotive roar as it zings up towards the 7,000 RPM red line. Sadly though, the addition of a petrol particulate filter means that you lose much of the exhaust pop and crackle on downshifts that you used to get with the previous generation version of this model, even if you pay extra for a version with the Rortia switchable flat RS exhaust system. You get 2 customizable RS driving modes and a steering wheel button to swap between them, which alter throttle response, steering feel, and, if they've been fitted, the settings of the adaptive dampers. Dynamic is the red mist option, but you'll find its settings too firm for everyday use. Audi claims that 85% of the engine's torque can be sent to the rear axle, which sounds like a recipe for fun. In fact, though, the drivetrain is primarily a front-driven system and feels like it when you hustle a car through the corners. This, and the fact that the precise, direct, progressive steering lacks that last nth degree of feel, mean that this car is more about meteoric point-to-point progress than driver engagement. The Q3's squat, slightly conservative styling gets a shot in the arm with this RS model. At the front, the car's RS genes are apparent in the flat slits above this borderless single-frame radiator grille, which has a 3-dimensional gloss black honeycomb structure and is inset deeply into this RS bumper with its large side air inlets and striking boomerang-shaped blades. Depending on version, the car features either LED headlights or, as in this case, matrix LED headlights with dynamic indicators and RS-specific darkened trims. In profile, you'll notice these pronounced wheel arches, which have been flared by 10mm and shroud the huge 20-inch 10-spoke star alloy wheels that are exclusive to this variant. The even larger 21-inch rims we have here are optional. If you've specified the optional ceramic brakes, they'll be designated by these evocative red calipers. With its sloping coupe-like roofline, the RSQ3 Sportback sits lower than this RSQ3, and its rising shoulder line is set further down than in its sister car, lowering the body's optical centre of gravity. Drop inside and you'll spot more RS accents. The RS Sport leather steering wheel, flattened at the bottom, includes bespoke shift paddles and multifunction buttons that allow the driver to control the 2 RS modes in the Audi Drive Select dynamic handling system. Through this wheel, you view the standard Audi Virtual Cockpit Plus instrument binnacle screen. Elsewhere around the cabin, the centre stack, as with other Q3 variants, is trimmed in high-gloss piano black and features this 10.1-inch MMI Navigation Plus central touchscreen. Likely buyers will also love these RS Sport seats, which are embossed with the RS logo and feature quilted stitching. In the back, As usual with a compact SUV, the rear bench is comfortable for 2 adults, but rather tight for the carriage of 3. Still, it helps that it can slide fore and aft by up to 150mm in this Q3, or by up to 130mm in the alternative Q3 Sportback. The luggage compartment holds 530 litres with either body style. From the launch of this model in late 2019, pricing kicked off from around £52,500. That's for this standard shape RSQ3. Audi expects over 60% of likely buyers, though, to want the alternative sleeker RSQ3 Sportback body shape, which costs £1,150 more. With either body style, there are 2 further trim options. Using the base model as a price starting point, you can pay around £4,500 more for mid-range Sport Edition trim, or nearly £8,000 more for the top Vorsprung model. The RSQ3 delivers charisma, attitude and excitement. This is the fastest small Audi SUV there's ever been. And for many potential customers, that'll be all they need to know.